Hi, everybody. Welcome to day 4 of the Meditate and Creativity and Mindfulness Challenge. I'm Leah Simone. I'm super happy to have you joining me here today. And today I decided I wanted to change up some of the activities and exercises that we're doing for the challenge to give a bit of a more broad and varied experience with this free challenge that we're offering. So today we're going to delve into a few different things. First, I'm going to talk a bit about color theory because I also teach different aspects of art and art technique. So I thought I'd share just a little tiny introductory lesson into color theory. And after that, we're going to go into some breathwork exercises, and we're going to follow the breathwork with our creativity session. And so because today we are talking about color theory, I encourage you to do your creativity exercise with colors, or at least in consideration of colors when you do your creativity. If you don't have them available, it's okay. But if you do, it's something fun and interesting to try. And I know that also some of you are experimenting with creativity outside of drawing and painting, which is very cool as well. So I encourage you when you're doing your creativity session to contemplate colors as a metaphor for the art form that you're using. So we're going to talk about balance between colors and how different colors complement and contrast to one another. So you can keep these concepts in mind in your art form. And for example, if you're a writer, how could you maybe incorporate color into your writing, either with suggestions like talking about a sunset, or with emotions and using color to express emotions. And similarly, if you're making music, for example, how could you portray the energy of a rainbow with the music you're creating? So I think that color theory and this lesson could possibly translate into just about every art form that exists out there if we use our creativity and our imagination. So that's what I'm hoping we can all do. So without further ado, I'm going to jump into this very basic beginner color theory lesson. So this is the color wheel. You've probably seen it before. On the left side, we have what are called the primary colors. Most of us learn this in elementary school, but these are the 3 most basic colors that all colors break down into these colors. So they can't be broken down into any simpler color than these 3: red, yellow, and blue. And so with these 3 colors, by combining them in different ways and in different proportions, we can get all the other colors of the color wheel that you see on the right side here. So once we begin to mix colors, we start to get this color wheel here, and the colors have different influence and relationships with one another, and how their visual appearance impacts us on an energetic and emotional level, and on to some degree a psychological level as well. So here you can see the color wheel is broken into 2 halves, which are warm colors and cool colors. So right away, when we look at these warm colors, they resonate a certain energy to us. We feel literally more warm when we see these colors. And just checking. Yeah, also it's interesting because if you're into chakras and energy and that kind of thing, they use colors to portray the different chakras, which are the energy fields of the human body. And the chakras have colors that correspond to them as well. So it's interesting also to contemplate how different colors correspond to different chakras and different parts of our energy field within our body as well. And like I said, with the warm, you look at the warm colors, they give you kind of a more warm feeling. And the cool colors give you more of a cool feeling. Maybe you associate those with kind of water, nature, more relaxing energy. So that's just a very, very basic makeup of the color wheel. And I think it's pretty straightforward here. Each color is made by combining the two colors that are next to it. So first, green you get yellow and green you get by combining yellow and blue, for example. And so to get this blue-green, then you would combine the pure blue with pure green, and you get blue-green, which is a green, but it's slightly tinted more blue than a primary green. And similarly, yellow-green, same effect. You mix yellow and green. You still get green, but it's more yellow than the more standard green. So again, that's just some super basic color theory I wanted to share with you. And we're just going to move on and share a little bit more about color theory, which I find actually quite interesting. And I like to share these lessons. So on the top here, you see some color wheels with these little lines drawn over it. So it's not so important, these little names written underneath each circle, but I find this very interesting. These are some different patterns on the color wheel that create different effects when we choose different colors according to these patterns. So for example, the first one, complementary, is two opposite colors. So when you select or work with opposing colors on the color wheel, they have a very bright opposing energy. They stand out very strong. So this bottom picture with the pairs is a perfect example of these contrasting colors. So you can see, for example, red and green are on exact opposites on the color wheel. So when you put them together in an art form, or really any setting, in your clothing, in your household, they are contrasting colors. So they really pop out and stand out next to each other. The same with this orange and blue, purple and yellow. They have very strong, striking appearance. So the next one that we can look at, analogous colors, which is basically choosing any, you can choose two colors, you can choose three colors, it can be four colors, but it's colors that are then in a row next to each other on the color wheel. So this combination of colors tends to have more of a soft blending effect, as the colors are very similar and they kind of balance each other and create a more soft and peaceful impact when you look at them. So this picture on the right side is an example of a color combination such as this one. It's using a combination of yellow, green, and blue somewhere along that palette. And if you kind of, I know it's not the most amazing painting ever, but if you just kind of tap into the energy of this painting, for me, I definitely get a kind of peaceful, relaxed vibe. It's not too chaotic. Everything seems to kind of go together and have a theme that's common throughout the entire picture. So these are very fun, interesting concepts to think about and to play with, especially if you're playing with art. So you can try any three combinations of colors that are next to each other on the color wheel and play with that when you're making your drawings and paintings, and see what kind of impact and effect you get from these combinations. And so just to touch on this topic, these other ones that you see, these triangle patterns and these square patterns, are also different combinations of colors that you can select when you're making your painting. So, or drawing, or whatever it is. You could be designing your home, you could be choosing your wardrobe, making an outfit, or anything else that involves color, really. So sometimes I know I, for whatever reason, naturally gravitate in my art to weird color combinations that they have weird relationships to one another sometimes. So for me, this is very helpful If I'm starting a painting and I really don't know what colors to use, I can, for example, like this split complementary is a super nice kind of pattern to try out. So you can use this triangle pattern. It's not equilateral. It's, I forget what this triangle is called, but yeah, it's a more narrow triangle. So you're choosing two colors that are two spaces apart and then one color that's on the opposite side. And of course, the triangle can be rotated to any part of the color wheel to try different combinations. And so basically the end result is that when you're using any of these different combinations of colors, whether you use this rectangle, the square, or either of the two triangles, when you make your color selection, it's a great way to get aesthetically pleasing combinations of colors that will have a nice visual impact and balance as you're creating your artwork. So I find it super interesting. So I just wanted to share that little bit. And something else I just wanted to touch upon since we're talking about colors. A lot of us are probably aware, or maybe not aware all the time, but how much color can actually affect our own emotions, our mood, and our energy. So if you think about the color of a room, for example, what are the different energies, emotions that you might experience if you're sitting in a room by yourself? If you're sitting in a white, bright room that's illuminated, and maybe it has a faint color border around the edges, but overall it's white, bright, with maybe a little colored trim, it's going to give you a different energy than if you're sitting in a room that's super dark, dark purple color with purple drapes and a blue carpet. It's a totally different energy, and just sitting in that room, you're going to have a different experience depending on what colors you're surrounded by. So I find it very interesting to think about how color has this influence in our life and how we can play with color to also affect our mood and our energy. And the same thing goes for the clothes we wear. How do you feel if you're wearing all black versus if you're wearing very bright colors, if you're wearing all white? All of these things have the potential to affect your mood and impact as well the way you view and feel about yourself. So it's definitely interesting concepts to think about. So I just wanted to share that bit with you. So I'm just reflecting on my notes for a second. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this little bit about color theory. And I think I'll just leave this screen up. So if you enjoy this discussion about color theory, is actually, I am offering now 2 different courses that I just want to quickly share about. I'm in the process of finishing up an intro to drawing course that I've been creating for a few months now. So it has a few different chapters and sections where we cover the different foundational aspects of art. We definitely talk about color theory and explore color theory more. We go into 3-dimensional drawing, hand drawing, drawing from reality and observation, and still life drawing. We also go into perspective, shading, and it's going to be a really nice course for anybody that would like to improve their drawing skills. This course is totally pre-recorded, so you can go at your own pace. And it's going to be officially completed in October. But if you'd like to sign up for the course now, it's an option. So I'll be sharing that link later in the group. And I also just wanted to share that I am also offering a 4-week course that is starting in October, where we're going to be continuing this meditate and create process, but going even further. We're going to be also going into this art theory, and we're also going to be going deeper into different aspects of meditation and self-observation, as well as working on releasing our limiting beliefs, self-doubts, and all that kind of stuff to help us ultimately work towards creating one final art piece that we can really feel excited and confident about. So if you're interested in that, you can either message me directly or check out more information on my website at leahsimonehealing.com. And you can go right under meditate and create and see more information. So that's going to be starting the first week of October. So thank you so much. So now that I finished my little art lesson, I wanted us to go into some pranayama breathing exercises. And for those of you who have not tried breath work before, it's a really, there's many different styles of breath work, but it's a very amazing practice that basically you're increasing the flow of oxygen to your body and having more control, regulating your breathing. And it can bring a lot of positive benefits as well as heightened awareness, mental clarity, and really just helps to overall shift your energy, especially if you're feeling in a kind of negative or unmotivated, slow, tired mood or anything like that. It's a really nice, quick tool that can be used to shift your energy as well. So for this breathing that I want to share with you, I'm going to go to this next screen. Okay. This is my drawing using two opposing colors. So, so for this breathing exercise, we are going to first do, these are pranayama breathing techniques. So we're going to start out with 3 cleansing breaths, 3 full breaths, and then we're going to do 3 different sets of breathing patterns and 9 times of each pattern. So I'm going to explain each one as we go through it. So we're going to start out first with our cleansing breath. So cleansing breath is a very full lung inhalation and full inhale breathing that we do. So to do a cleansing breath, when I was also told you should never do this if you're sitting behind somebody, because you're actually clearing energy. And so you can actually project that energy to somebody else. So you want to have nobody in front of you. So to do cleansing, full cleansing breath, we do a big inhale with the nose and then we breathe out with the mouth. And we want to have very good posture and actually even like lean back and a bit forward as we breathe out. So I'll do an example of a cleansing breath. It's going to look like this. Okay, so we're going to do 3 of those, followed by 3 full breaths. And the full breath is almost the same thing, except for the full breath. Instead of breathing out the mouth, we breathe out the nose. And you can even be a bit forceful when you breathe out the nose. And by doing this breathing, it really just helps to shift and clear our energy a bit and bring more oxygen flowing through the body and into the brain. So it's a very nice activity and exercise to try out. So we're going to do 3 full breaths and three cleansing breaths and 3 full breaths to start out. So you can do it along with me. So again, to start the cleansing breath, we do full inhale with the nose. Now we're going to do the full breath, which is the same, just breathe out with the nose. Okay, nice job. So for the next part, we're going to do these breathing patterns. So let's see if I can convey this through the video. So we're going to do 3 cycles of each one. So the first one, we're going to do a pattern of 4, 4, 16, 8. So that means for the inhale, you inhale for 4 seconds or 4 counts. So it's Then you hold your breath for 4 seconds. And then exhale for a count of 16. Then inhale for 8 more counts. So I know it might seem a bit confusing. Let's see if we can do it together. I'm going to try and speak the directions while we do it. I've never actually tried to teach this before. So we're going to try to do this pattern 3 times. So first we're going to inhale for 4, hold 4, exhale very slowly for 16, which you'll have to count in your mind. Then hold empty for 8 seconds. Now inhale for 4, hold 4, exhale slowly for 16, hold empty for 8. Last one, inhale 4, hold 4, exhale 16, hold empty for 8. Okay, nice job. Now we're going to move on to another pattern. So this one is 8, 4, 4, 16, okay? So I'm going to count it again for you. Just try your best to follow along. We're going to do it 3 times. So we're going to inhale for a count of 8. Hold for 4. Exhale for 4. Hold empty for 16. Inhale 8. Hold 4. Exhale 4. Hold empty 16. Last one, inhale for 8. Hold for 4. Exhale for 4. Hold empty for 16. Okay, nice job. So we're going to do just one more pattern with 3 rounds. So this one is going to be 16, 8, 4, 4. Okay, so we're going to very slowly inhale for 16 to start. So we're going to start with the very slow inhale of 16. Hold for 8. Exhale for 4. Hold empty for 4. Inhale for 16. Hold for 8. Exhale 4. Hold empty for 4. Last one, inhale 16. Hold empty for 8, or hold for 8. Exhale for 4. Hold empty for 4. Great job, everybody. Now you can take a nice deep breath. I like to take one more nice deep breath and hold my breath for 15 seconds. Great job. Awesome. Thank you for sharing that with me. So we can just take a moment now to connect with our body. Feel this shift in energy. Feel how it's feeling. And just take a moment to observe any thoughts or feelings that arise. And I'm just going to put on some meditation music. And in a moment, we're going to go into our creativity. Okay. So just take a few moments to connect with your body and feel the shift in your energy. Notice any thoughts or feelings that arise. And if you like, you're also welcome to journal or take some notes about anything that you're feeling or experiencing. And we'll just sit here for a few seconds, and then we're going to go into our practice. And just allow yourself to listen to notice any sensations, any sensations in your mind. So when you're ready, we can shift over to our art creation. And as I mentioned earlier, if you'd like to come off and listen and talk it out, you can do so. It's in line as your creation. we're just going to spend a few more minutes creating together. And of course, you can always keep creating as long as you want after the video ends. right, and we'll close up this creation session. Blessings to y'all and your